We've been very blessed and fortunate to have the team of people that we have. I'm lucky to have known these folks since I was basically a kid in '99 when I met everybody. I'm not a kid, I was 25, but I've grown up with the entire group of people that works there for the most part.
All of these product lines are being created by shooters. The people who work here are shooters, and they have a passion for firearms and the shooting sports. So they're creating and expanding all of these product lines with care and passion, knowing what it's going to be used for. And then some of them actually go out and compete at some of the highest levels in our industry.
You're talking about guys that have done nothing but load ammunition since 1977, 1978. These guys have been around a long, long time. They've seen things come and go. They understand the business. They understand that, look, we've made a lot of mistakes in the past that we've learned from. And we're really lucky to have folks like that. If I come in and say, look, I don't like the way that we're doing this, I shot this, I didn't like the way that it felt, they'll say, well, what do you want to change? I'm like, well, I don't really know, but this is what I'm going for. Those guys are going to come back in a couple days with an answer. I don't have to walk back in there and say, hey, where are we at on that? It just happens. And even through the testing thing, I see very little information flowing across my desk about it. I just know that something's going on, and 3 or 4 days later, voila, a couple boxes end up on my desk and a note that says, please take this to the range and tell us what you think. You can't beat that. You can't buy that, you can't pay that. I can't give them bonuses to create more of that. This is just something they do on their own.
There's a lot of energy and time goes into making what we make. It's not just throwing components together. There's a lot of thought, and there's a lot of hard work to get to that point. So throwing ammo together is one thing, but making quality ammo is quite another.
The Atlanta Arms brand to me, it means multiple things. One is quality, service, and just overall dedication to the product. I've been using it for over 15 years now. I first started using it when I joined the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit, and it's never failed me.
The Atlanta Arms, to me, it means family. A company that it's been here for many, many years, supporting the community. And it's just, for me, it's family.
Each and every person here takes pride in the ammo they produce, so then when it gets to the quality assurance and packaging, that most of the time there's really not much to find there.
When I had the opportunity to get this started and kind of look at everything in totality, what I figured out is we just weren't great at everything. We were good at some things, we were okay at others, but there was not one thing that I could really point out and said, okay, we're not touching that. And so we started testing everything.
Part of the process of testing through a static fixture is that it removes the variables. There's no human in the loop. There's no moving parts, no mechanisms that can be out of spec. There's no slide to frame fit that can be out of spec or loose. You have a barrel locked solid in 30, 40 pounds of steel, the fixture. And that barrel is doing what it can do. That is all it can do. So there's no variable there. There's nothing left but the ammo.
Out of that test protocol became, I think, some of the most comprehensive testing in the industry. I mean, even with the Select product line, we test that stuff almost daily. And we test it in a barrel fixture, we test it for accuracy, we test it for velocity, we test it for consistency. But everything that comes through that door gets tested. We buy primers in several million piece lots, and when those come in and the lots change, we test the same 4 or 5 SKUs that are known quantities in that product with those primers to see if there's any differences. When we run out of strip on projectiles and strip changes, for the jackets, we go through the whole test protocol on that. I mean, there's nothing that doesn't get tested on a daily basis. We test something all of the time, but every time there's even the smallest change in product, whether, like I said, it's a powder lot, it's a brass lot, it doesn't matter. We go through the whole test protocol again, just to make sure that we don't have an issue. And if we do, how are we going to fix this? We want to make sure that if you buy a product from us in January of this year and you don't come back until March of next year and you order that same thing, your point of impact doesn't change, your group size doesn't change. Hopefully, if anything, if we're doing our job right, you're going to see a small improvement.
It's extremely important for me to have the confidence in my ammunition. For me to go into a competition not having to worry about, hey, is Are my primers going to go off? Is this going to malfunction? Am I going to have a stovepipe? I don't want to have to think about that. And with Atlanta Arms, I don't have to think about that. All I have to do is get to the line, think about that stage prep and shoot.
The only ammunition I've ever used in any of my competitions or training has always been Atlanta Arms. And that's something that will never change. The accuracy and the quality behind the product that is a standard that they don't budge on. There's no negotiating the quality that they put out in their product.
Easily, we've won over 100 national championships. I know for sure we've won over 25 world titles. I couldn't even begin to count the state championships, but we've been fortunate to almost every top shooter in the United States through that course of time has used our ammunition. Whether it was in our box or someone else's box, I mean, the reality is our stuff still won the matches. And those matches are the Yankee Cup, USPSA Nationals, PPC Nationals, PPC World Shoot, I mean, you name it. We've pretty much owned all of the titles in the last 2 decades. My real motivation in this is, I just want to have the best. I want to be the best. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if we're playing video games, if we're playing basketball, if we're going shooting, it doesn't matter to me. All that matters to me is that the thing that I do, the thing that I'm going to invest all my time and energy in, that the end result of that is I want to be known as the best. I want my legacy to be known as that he's that guy that was absolutely unwavering on quality, period. We never want to stop trying to be better.